Good day, good day. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jay, and this is Homeschool Your Kids podcast. Today we have with us Leah. Leah, introduce yourself.
Hi, I am the founder and executive director of the Society of Child Entrepreneurs. So I teach financial literacy, leadership, and entrepreneurship to kids by letting them actually run their own businesses.
Ooh, exciting. How do we get on this journey?
So years ago, I was entrepreneur. I did all the things. And then I owned an in-home childcare. And I took care of all kinds of cute little girls, and I taught engineering curriculum to 3-year-olds. It was amazing. But then COVID shut down my daycare. And while I was at home with my husband deployed on a temporary assignment that turned out much longer because COVID shut everything down, I was home alone with a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. And I was watching like business training videos on our living room TV. And my sweet little 4-year-old came up to me and said, "Mommy, I'm going to start a business too." Like any reasonable mother, the first thing I said was, "No way." And then, like any self-respecting 4-year-old, she replied with, "Why?" And with no good answer, and in the middle of lockdowns and not being able to do anything anyway, I was like, "Okay, fine, you can start a business." So she started her first business at 4.5 years old. It was called Melody Creates, and she sold custom paintings. Throughout the next handful of years, I worked on teaching her entrepreneurship, and then we started doing children's business fairs, and then it eventually blossomed into now the Society of Child Entrepreneurs, and we have full curriculum. We have weekly challenges that we're really teaching kids to practice entrepreneurship and not just theorize about entrepreneurship.
Oh my goodness, Leah, that's powerful. Okay, little 4-year-old. Okay.
Yeah, she is 10 now and our junior executive director, so she still tells me what to do.
Ah, nice, nice. We need that. Well, we need that, Leah. Okay.
She's vocal.
Nice. Okay, so shut down, lockdown, daycare, shut down, lockdown. And so you were left with your two little ones and business. And she said, "Mommy, I want to do this." The power of modeling.
Right.
Because she was watching you.
Right. And she was watching the training videos with me. She was like, I already know everything I need to know. I'm watching the same videos you're watching.
Homeschool families. Homeschool Your Kids Expo and Homeschool Beats Academy are teaming up to bring you a day of real support and real inspiration. Come explore curriculum and enrichment, meet trusted vendors, and connect with the homeschool community. And at our featured Expo stop, meet Homeschool Beats Academy and see how students ages 7 to 18 can create original music through beat making and production with parent-friendly guidance. Get dates and details at homeschoolyokidsexpo.com.
So she went from playing with her dolls while I watched TV to watching the shows with me and watching us learn how to do a SWOT analysis and Eisenhower matrix and everything like that. She learned at 4 and 5 years old.
Nice. And why is it so important to you, like as far as teaching kids entrepreneurship?
So what I love entrepreneurship, I love the power of being my own boss and getting to decide what I want my days and my weeks to look like, especially when my daughters were homeschooling and being able to say like, nope, this is what we do. This is how we do it. We can do whatever we want. And we have the flexibility of, as long as we're achieving our goals, the how to do it is up to us. And now seeing in our community, being able to teach entrepreneurship and seeing the confidence and the leadership, the communication skills that come with entrepreneurship on top of they're earning money, they're building that pride in themselves, and they're learning how to be members of their community without waiting until they're grown-ups.
Yes, no waiting. I love that because I feel like we limit these little people. They have so much inside of them already. And it's just like, we put limitations on them because of their age and their size. And it's like, no, they got it.
I tell people all the time, the one phrase that I hate more than any other phrase right now is our children are the future. And it's because, quite frankly, our children are not the future. They are super capable, aware leaders right now. And it's our responsibility as adults to shut up and stand back for a minute.
But it's hard for adults to do that.
And it's scary because what if they fail? What if my perfect little angel has their heart broken because they failed at something that wasn't easy the first time? Then I have
Right.
failed at parenting because I didn't protect them from every single possibility. And that's wrong. I mean, quite frankly, if
Mm,
you don't allow your kids to fail, that is your failure, because then they don't learn how to
mm.
recover. They don't learn problem solving.
Yes. Go ahead, Leah. Go off. You going?
Like, really, though, it's so hard to let your kids fail, but your kid will learn 5,000 more things from failing and recovering than they will ever learn from being protected.
Yes, ma'am. Because I know, like, I'm always big on conflict resolution and the fact
Hmm.
that a lot of people lack the skill of resolving conflicts. And I feel like that comes with the failure, that comes with experiencing loss or experiencing disappointment in general. We do, as parents, want to protect our little people as best as we can because it hurts. We know what failure feels like. We know what certain things feel like. So it's like, oh no, I don't want you to experience that. But in all actuality, it is what will help them grow the most.
Really will. And even with the conflict resolution, my daughters fight like cats and dogs. They love each other so much and they drive each other absolutely insane. But they also share a business. And do you know where they don't fight? In front of their customers. Because they
Yes.
know how to put it to the side, communicate about it later, how to do what needs to be done and go argue in a moment when they have some peace. But they also know if a customer comes up to them and says, I don't like the flavor of this lemonade that you sold me, how to say, okay, you ordered blue raspberry. Is it too sour? Would you like to try something that's sweeter? And letting them, solve that problem for their customers
Yes.
without me swooping in and saying, you paid for it. This is what you get. My children are perfect. And of course, blue raspberry is sour. What were you thinking?
And the business that they have together is lemonade. They're selling lemonade together.
Yes. So they sell specialty lemonade together. So they sell lemonade for
Mm.
$5 for a 20-ounce glass. And it's got snow cone flavoring, edible glitter. You can get candy, cotton candy in your lemonade. So they are like Instagram worthy, beautiful glasses of lemonade.
Oh, that is so awesome. Do
Oh,
they
they're
set up in the
adorable.
neighborhood? Where do they set up at?
So we do, through the Society of Child Entrepreneurs, several times in a year, children's business fair. And so when we do a children's business fair, we'll have 15 to 20.
Homeschool families, are you ready to refresh your plans for the year? Join us at the Homeschool Your Kids Expo. Meet curriculum and enrichment vendors, discover new programs, and connect with a community that gets it, all in one place. Come with questions, leave with real options. Get event details and register now at homeschoolyokidsexpo.com. That's homeschoolyokidsexpo.com.
This summer we have space for 100 kids, and they'll come and they set up an 8-foot table and they sell their product to the community. And all of the vendors, it's just a farmer's market, but all of the vendors are kids between the ages of 6 and 17. So every booth you go to is supporting kids and their learning and their skills and experimentation and all the things that go into their futures.
Oh, wow. Talk about something empowering. Empowering. Yeah, that is beautiful. I love
Oh,
this. 100? 100? Okay, so this is an
yes.
annual event. This is annual or a couple times a year?
A
Or a
couple
few?
times a year. So we
Okay.
usually do a minimum of 4 per year in
Mm.
April, June, September, and November. This year, because we're starting to get a little bit more momentum here in our community, we have also been invited to do our local Renaissance Festival in April and September, a local event called Riverfest in May, and we'll be doing in June our local Pride event, ICT Big Gay Market. And so we'll have, right now, I think I have 8 business fairs on the calendar for our kiddos.
Nice. Where are you at?
We're in Wichita, Kansas.
Kansas. Okay, okay, Kansas. Leah, you putting y'all on the map? Wichita.
Yeah, we actually, fun fact, 2 weeks ago, my daughters and one of my students and I went and testified at the Kansas State House of Representatives, and my daughter's face made it onto the Yahoo homepage.
Oh,
I
really?
was
What were y'all
like,
testifying for?
So most states don't have a lemonade stand law, and a handful of states do. Kansas doesn't, and we're trying to get one. So a lemonade stand law is just a law that a state has put in place to remove restrictions on entrepreneurship and business ownership for kids under the age of 17, so that they can practice entrepreneurship without having to do things like apply for state licenses or city permits or remit sales taxes. And so we were testifying at the hearing for Kansas's lemonade stand law.
I was going to ask, like, with our lovely child labor laws, does that apply to entrepreneurship? Like, does that matter?
Sort of. And it depends really on your state and what your state's specific laws are. Here in Kansas, in order for it to qualify, once our law goes into effect, once it passes, it has to be a business that's entirely owned and operated by a child entrepreneur, which means the parents can't be doing something that's way outside of the children's abilities and then collecting the money from it. And the parents aren't allowed to take the money out of the children's businesses. It's the children's business. And then the other thing is it must be entirely owned by minors. So it can't be the parents running the business or anything like that. It has to be kids running the businesses together for educational facts. And then what I tell people when they come to me and like, we don't support child labor. This is inappropriate to be forcing these kids to work. Because I mean, it happens. People are like, wait a second, why are you exploiting these kids? And I break it down into this really easy explanation. Child labor is when a kid is forced to work so that the adults in their life can benefit. I make my kid go work in the mines so I can collect their paycheck. That's child labor. Child entrepreneurship is when the child chooses to run a business for their own gain. They run the business, they do the work, it's their choice, and they keep the money.
Yes. Big difference.
Right. It's a very, very big difference. And I've found that if I'm able to explain it to people like that, one is I made the kid do it and I get the benefit. The other one is the kid chose and the kid gets the benefit. Then they see very clearly what the difference is in child entrepreneurship and child labor.
Indeed, because my little people have been asking for jobs and ways to make money for the longest. They're just 8 and 12 now, but they've been asking. No, 8 and 12. They're 9 and 12. I have a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Look, let me keep up. But
it happens fast.
But yeah, right. That 12 girl, that one kind of like, what in the world? How, what? I've been doing this for 12 years. This is crazy. But for the, like, Kenny will go into Fry's or, into a store and be like, are y'all hiring? And she's been doing that since she was like 9 herself. And then they've started so many different business, skincare business. They've started a pet walking business. Just all these type of jewelry. At the expos, they sell jewelry. My sister had a bunch of paparazzi jewelry that she had been holding on to for like the last 3-4 years, and they were selling that. This year, they're making Homeschool Your Kids merchandise for to sell, because why do I keep on putting her back? My 9-year-old Morgan, she's the business lady. That's the one who wants to get to it. She wants to figure out. I showed her how to invest in stocks recently, girl, and she bought her first little piece of share of Walmart, and you can't tell her nothing. We're in Walmart and she's like, are they making me money? are they making me money? Because it looks busy in here. Okay, are they? So, yes, I love what you're doing. Yeah.
It's so much fun to see what the kids do. And I mean, I tell people 8 to 13 is the best age for them to start entrepreneurship, because that's the age when they're like, I want my own money. I want to buy my own clothes. I care what brand my water bottle is. I need to keep up with the classmates. Like, that's when they start to care about their social standing. It's around 8 or 9 years old. And then before they're 14 or 15, they can't go get a regular job. I mean, even some of our fast food restaurants will hire at 14, but they're not hiring 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds. So up until that 13 point, that's when it's like, if you want money, you have to figure out a way to make it on your own. And that is entrepreneurship, is I want money. What can I do to make money? And And so they're like the perfect age to start something. And then if you start it and if you follow our curriculum or you do our monthly challenge, our weekly challenges, then it's consistently building these skills and keeping them interested and engaged in it so that when they get to college, they can decide if they're shutting down their small business, if it's big enough that they can sell it, or if they want to run it while they're in school. Like they have so many more options because they have this revenue stream that they've been maintaining and so many skills that you're never going to learn in any other platform. There's not another system that teaches entrepreneurship that isn't actually going and doing it.
Your kid has music in them. They just need the right tools to let it out. Homeschool Beats Academy teaches kids ages 7 to 18 how to make real beats at home on their schedule, in their own style. No experience needed. Grab the complete First Beat Kit free at homebeatsacademy.com. That's homeschoolbeatsacademy.com.
Yes, to actually be hands-on and create your own business. I know, and that's actually like one of the first things I tell people when they tell me like their kid, it's like they're struggling, it's 13, 14-year-old, and they don't know what to do with them. They don't want to learn this, or they don't, they're not having an interest in this. And I'm always like, have them create a business plan. That's me my first thing. Have them create a business plan. Because I feel like that covers so many different things and it's interesting and it's something that will make them like pique their curiosity because it's like, oh, this is my business. Okay, let me do this.
And so part of our curriculum, so I have a full 36-week curriculum. It's just like a regular homeschool curriculum where you go online, you buy the binder, they mail it to you, and it says, say this, give them this worksheet, do this activity, just like that. Only it's all about entrepreneurship and becoming a business owner. So week 1, they start with what is an entrepreneur? Week 36, they're selling product. Like they are selling their stuff. This is 36 weeks to becoming a business owner. And it is cross-domain because you have to talk about how do you do your budget, which is your math. You have to talk about how do you communicate with your customers, which is your persuasive writing and your English. You have to talk about what is your marketing? Then we've gotten into our creative arts. Like it is across all of these domains. And then all of them are also those soft skills, durable skills, long lasting skills that they have to have that you can't teach without doing. You can't teach patience without making them practice being patient. You can't teach problem solving without giving them problems to solve. And so this is a structure where you give them all of those things to learn that confidence, that creativity, that problem solving, and make money so they stay interested throughout the whole program.
Right. Yes. And I've talked to some young, thriving entrepreneurs. I've talked as far as homeschool students.
Oh, yeah.
Their parents allow them to get into different things and they have the time to do that. I know I interviewed, a young lady who started a playwriting business at like 12. I think she was like 12 or 13 and she was hosting plays for her homeschool, group. And then she eventually made it so that other groups can buy her plays and incorporate them into their theater classes. And it was like really cool. And then there's one who has a very successful nonprofit, Canary Academy, I believe. I can't think of the young lady's name right now, but it's just like, I love to see that our youth are definitely doing it now as opposed to later. Like when people think like, oh, they need to wait until later.
Nope, they don't. Don't make them wait and this is part of, I do a lot of speaking. And one of the things that I talk about is how in every room, there is a kid who sees a problem and says, wait, what if we, and then the adults in the room say, shh, not now. Let the grownups do it. Just go play, go be a kid. And then they hear it over and over and over and over again. And then by the time they're grown-ups, they've stopped sharing their ideas. They've stopped giving more than the absolute bare minimum. They've become apathetic, frustrated, and annoyed because why should they care? Somebody's going to tell them their idea doesn't matter anyway. And then they become adults who aren't civically engaged, who don't vote because their opinion doesn't matter, their voice doesn't count. They don't go to city council meetings. They don't stand up in their community for what they believe in because they've already been told in their formative years, shush, let somebody better handle it.
That's powerful. That's some food for thought right there. Because I always talk about the kids' place that people put people in. I'm like, where's this kid place that y'all always say? Stay in the kids' place. And I'm like, well, where is or child's place? Stay in a
Right.
child's place. And I was like, where is this place?
Right.
Where is this located?
My 10-year-old, month and a half, month ago, walked into my office because she goes to a public school now, and she walked from her public school to my office. She walked into my office, she smacked her hand on my desk and said, I need to go to city council. And I said, hi, how was school? Good to see you. Why are we going to city council? She said, there is not a crosswalk that is in a good location from my school to your office. And today, the car going one way stopped and the car going the other way didn't. And then the car that stopped started honking at me because I didn't walk out in traffic. And if there was a crosswalk further away from the school, the traffic would have already been gone before I was ready to cross. So we need a crosswalk right here at this intersection. And I need to go to city council and tell them so. And I said, okay, you're not wrong. Fine. So I texted my friend on city council, said, when's the next city council meeting? And she said, tomorrow night. And I said, fantastic. You're going tomorrow night. You get 3 minutes during citizens' comments. So we get there. She gets her turn for citizens' comments. She has to stand on a chair because she's too short to reach the microphone. And she gives her 3-minute speech on why we need a crosswalk, gets down off of her chair, gives her printed notes to the mayor so they can keep it for their records, says goodbye, and goes home to have dinner.
I know that's right.
2 weeks later, they invite her. They're renovating our Main Street. 2 weeks later, they invited her to the Main Street renovation meeting so that she could come in and see what the steps they were taking to implement her crosswalk were. We learned that our street is too wide for a standard crosswalk, and we have to have bump outs and change in cement. It's going to be $20,000 for a stupid crosswalk. And they are
To
putting
paint
it
some lines?
so our road is really wide. So they have to build what they call bump outs to make the road more narrow. And so they have to build like a pedestrian island and bump outs and then put paint lines. Yeah, I was like, really?
I was like, $20,000 for some lines.
Right. So they have to extend the sidewalk and then paint the lines. It's going to be like $20,000. But they're putting it into the city's 2027 budget so that she will change schools before it's finished. So it won't help her. But she has 3 younger siblings and it will help them.
Yes. Yes, and that is so powerful for her to go in there and see that change and know that she was a part of that. And when it's all done, she's gonna be like, "Yeah, I did that."
Oh yeah,
I did that.
We keep joking that when it's done, we're going to take a picture in front of her and be like, I don't care if there's no signs. This is the Melody crosswalk. Like everybody knows this is Melody's crosswalk.
Leah, girl, what you over there building some things? You are creating some powerful humans.
Yeah, well, and my goal with doing these podcasts, having our online curriculum, is that you guys can all create powerful humans too.
Yes.
Every Monday, I post a weekly challenge, and I have these characters named Astra and Zeke, and they're the main characters of our children's book, of our curriculum. Everything is through Astra and Zeke. And so every Monday, I post a short snippet of some interaction that Astra and Zeke have had, and then how you can apply the lesson that they learned in that moment into a challenge for your kids to do that week. And then a quick little blurb on why it matters and how it's helping them learn financial literacy, leadership, or entrepreneurship. And every week they're learning one of those skills. And you just go in there. It's free. You just go in there, you read the story, and you do the activity with your kids. And sometimes it's really easy stuff like, hey, in order for your kids to truly learn leadership, they have to own it. So our challenge for that week is give your kid ownership of something completely. That means the successes and failures are entirely on them. You don't get to remind them. You don't get to give them bonus tips. You tell them you are in charge of this thing for the next 7 days, and then you step back and let it happen.
Okay, so you have curriculum that parents can access. And how is it? You said it's a standard 36-week curriculum for the year. So
the full 36-week curriculum is currently in beta and pilot testing. So if you want that curriculum, it's $50 a month, and you get to beta test and provide feedback and do one-on-one meetings with me and tell me everything I need to know so that this can be the perfect curriculum when it's done. But if you just want to see the lessons that are already published, it's $15 a month. You log in, you download the lesson plans that you want, and you teach them to your kids. And then if you don't want the formal lesson plans and you just want the activities, then the free version is literally like, pop in there, do the weekly challenge, give us your feedback, and you don't have to spend any money on practicing teaching this to your kids. And so you really have options. And then eventually we will eliminate that $50 a month option, and we will have a fully published curriculum that people will be able to theoretically go on Amazon and buy the binder and teach it in their homes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's probably the 2027-2028 school year before it's completely finalized. But anybody who wants to be pilot testing it now is absolutely available to come do that. We would love to have them. And I've been teaching it in some homeschool groups that I visit and do it in their co-ops. And it's been really cool because we teach, the basics of entrepreneurship. We teach how to spot a problem, because you can't solve a problem until you've spotted a problem. We teach monetization. We teach, okay, if you've decided this is the product you're going to sell, how much do the materials cost? How many things can you make with that number of materials? What are you pricing it at? What is your potential profit? What are you going to do with that potential profit?
Oh my gosh. Leah.
It's so much
beautiful.
fun.
Yeah, no, and it is fun. I remember playing you remember playing like the lemonade game? I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're in the same age bracket as me, but I used to play the lemonade game. And you had to increase the sugar or ice cubes and lemons. It
was a lemonade stand game.
Yeah, It was all the way. And it's like the profit, you try it out, the recipe for the day, and the customers so have their little sad faces or happy faces and all that stuff.
Yep.
I love that game.
Right. It was actually, I did too. I had forgotten about it until just now, but yes, I did too. I loved that game. And but this gets to take it a step further, because now instead of having little computer customers who give you smiley faces or sad faces, you have real human beings who are giving you real dollar bills.
Yeah, right.
And then you get that money and you get to respond in live action to that customer feedback. I had, this is really cool, actually, one of my students. So you homeschool, reading for pleasure drops off at a massive statistic at 4th grade. After 4th grade, kids don't read for fun anymore. They read when they're told to read. And homeschool children statistically read better than public school children for enjoyment because they're not as forced. But at around 4th grade, most kids are like, I don't want to read for fun anymore. Like, tell me what I have to read and let me go do other things. But one of my students is in 7th grade. He's an avid reader, and he was really mad that his classmates weren't reading with him. He wanted them engaged in reading good books. So he created a business where he gives you 10 books in the genre that you said you like, printed on the back of a bookmark that he hand drew. So you have a new bookmark, 10 books to recommend. But then he took it a step further and he partnered with our local book rescue center. And he goes out there and he buys discounted books, brings them into his booth. And so you can buy the book and the recommendation list right there from him. And we did an event, and all day Saturday, people kept asking him, like, do you have any books for toddlers? Do you have any books for younger kids? Like, these are mostly like for middle schooler and high schoolers, but like, what about my 2nd or 3rd grader? So he went home Saturday night, he bought a bunch more books, and he came back on Sunday with books for toddlers and early elementary school kids. And he sold out because he was able to immediately respond to the market's demands.
Yes. Supply and demand. You know why this is so dope, though? Because in traditional school settings, we're not necessarily taught to bet on ourselves, essentially. We're taught that when we finish school, we're going to go to college or we're going to go to someone else's job. It's not necessarily promoted. that, oh, you could start your own business. I talk about how we like nonprofit, like we probably glanced over or breezed by it in government or something, but nonprofit organizations were never really fully discussed in my traditional school setting.
Right.
But look at me now. And so it's like, where I talk to my girls, like you said, about the problem. It's okay, think about a problem and then create a solution for it. Like I always tell them that, as far as business go, like you want to start a business. All right, think about a problem, create a solution. I just love what you're doing, because this is not only reshaping and reprogramming the mindset of parents, but it's also empowering our youth to understand their presence now. Like you said, not later, but now. Like you're powerful now. You don't have to wait until later to exercise this power. Use it now.
Right.
Yeah, I love this.
And it really is, like, I cannot explain to people how rewarding it is, because it's not like I walk into a classroom and I teach math. I teach these kids how to feel confident in themselves, how to feel empowered by their own decision-making skills. And when we do the basics of business, we start with problem spotting. Go through your day and write down 3 or 4 things that annoyed you. I want those little annoyances in your life. Write down 3 or 4 things that annoy you. All right, now pick one of those, solve that problem. What can you create to make that not be annoying anymore? Okay, now set a price and monetize it. That's all you have to do to run a business. So find a problem, solve the problem, monetize your solution. You can do it as many times as you want.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, this is awesome. And I know there's other kidpreneur like events and things like that nature. I know someone last year reached out to collaborate and possibly have us collaborate for the Cali Expo, but then they told me that my expo was too small for them. Like they needed something bigger. Like it had to be a certain attendance size or something like that. So they couldn't collaborate with us. But either way, I'm loving the fact that kidpreneurs is becoming like just a thing. Right. We have one signed up for our Connecticut Expo. His name is Lucas, but I can't think of his business name, but I know it's something with nature, or not nature. Okay. It's with pets. I think he's making organic treats for pets, or he's doing something for pets. And he's signed up to be an exhibitor at the Connecticut Expo. So that's exciting. That's our first one.
So send him this email. We just did a pitch contest at the Society of Child Entrepreneurs. So we had the kids do a 30 to 90 second pitch about their business, why it mattered, and send them it. Our winning pitch was a business that's a birthday party subscription service for your pet. So, we all want to throw like a really Instagram worthy photo shoot of our pet on their birthday. But she does not want us to create so much waste and be throwing away all these supplies. So she's created a subscription model where you rent the supplies from her, throw your really cute birthday party, and then mail them back to be laundered and re-rented.
Aww.
So her pitch is on the Society of Child Entrepreneurs Facebook page. It's so cute.
That is cute. And I'm just loving this. There's my friend, and I don't have my phone by me. My friend just recently shared yesterday that they're starting a game show or something, or some kind of show. Did you see that? Where they're basically taking kids that, like you said, notice a problem in the home, and they want them to create a solution for it, and they could either be individuals or they could be teens, but it's like a game show. I'll send it when we finish recording, I'll find it for you.
Perfect.
Because I can't think of it, but my friend literally just sent it to me yesterday. So people are recognizing and understanding the importance of our little people now as opposed to later. And my thing with traditional school setting, in my experience, when I was in the classroom, I feel like our kids lose their sense of purpose along the way, getting to the 12th grade. And I feel like this is like recentering that they have a purpose. Like I tell
Right.
people all the time, no matter the size of the piece of your puzzle, understand that you are still a part of the puzzle. So you're important. We like
Yeah.
puzzles aren't complete without a piece. So understand that you are still important.
Right. Well, in this program, I love it so much because I can do it with homeschoolers. We can do it in small groups. We can do it in after school programs in public schools. Like this knowledge base doesn't have to be stuck in just one type of education system, which means this can kind of become that level set for homeschool kids and public school kids where they're peers together and on the same level in this group.
Yes.
Because I have kids in private schools, I have kids in public schools, and I have kids in homeschools who take classes with me all together. And they get to talk about their experiences in school and their experiences in business, and they don't become othered by, oh, those homeschool kids or, oh, those public school families.
Right.
They're just a community, and they're all working together to try and reach their business goals.
I love that because that is a division, and I see the little things. I'm like, oh, we can't go to the park. It's spring break. Those public school kids are there. I'm like, yo, don't do that. Don't do
Exactly.
that. They're still kids. Like, God, like, how you kids go out there and play with them kids? Like,
it's going to be a little busier.
Yeah,
it's going to be a little busier, which means they're going to find more friends.
Yes, they're a community. We are a community, and we are so much stronger together. The quicker people understand that and realize that, the better off we will be as a society. The divide and conquer game, I think, is going on long enough, and everyone's pretty privy to it. So it's like, let's come together. Let's come and grow together and do it for the future, for our great grandbabies and all that other stuff. Let's change it up.
Yeah, we've had enough of the generational curses. They passed down enough. They've done what they need to do. We're over them now. It's time to start changing the status quo, start changing the expectations, start opening up our mind, and allow more people a voice.
Yes, ma'am. We are here. The time is now, not later.
Right.
The time is definitely now. Yes. So, okay. So parents can purchase this curriculum from you. Parents can also come to Kansas and sign up for your conferences. All of the conferences are in Kansas.
Yep. Right now, everything is in Kansas. And the goal is 3 to 5 years to be able to start hiring directors in new places and allowing in-person instruction in more places. Fun fact, all the stuff that we've built, I just founded this organization in July of 2024. So we are not yet 2 years old, which means we are still very new. We're still very much bootstrapping. We're a nonprofit, which means we are constantly looking for grants and donors. In fact, we just published yesterday, we want to be able to do a mobile market, and the mobile market materials are $950. So we set up a fundraiser yesterday so we can make our $950. We got $50 so far, so the ball is rolling.
Nice. Okay. Yes. I definitely understand that. Okay.
Yeah.
This lovely nonprofit world. Okay, so you're going to eventually grow, because that's what I was going to say. Like, when I started the expos, that's the first thing I was like, okay, I can't just do this here. Like, everybody needs this. Like, we have to go everywhere. And so that's what I see your motto. Like, this is something that needs to be everywhere.
Right. And we are actually in 3 weeks doing our first homeschool convention, where we are boothing at homeschool convention, which is crazy because when I homeschooled my kids, homeschool convention is like the Vegas of being a homeschool mom, because there's so many things to see and do and learn. Yes. Homeschool convention is the best. And so I'm so excited that now I get to be one of the cool vendors at homeschool convention.
Oh, yes. Yes. No, that definitely fits. We haven't made our way to Kansas yet, but we definitely have y'all on the future list. So you will definitely have to be a part when we come to Kansas. I love this, Leah. I love this. How was your time with homeschooling? Because I figured that was a part of your world at one point. How was that?
Yeah. I loved homeschooling. And I mean, my husband taught my oldest daughter how to read. I taught her how to, count in her ABCs and all of her basic math. And she would watch Disney Channel, and she firmly believed that public school was exactly like the school she saw on TV.
Oh my gosh.
She really believed that that was what school was going to be like. And so when we moved from Southern California to Kansas, we specifically picked a house where she would have the option of public school or homeschool and be safe in either choice. So in third grade, she chose public school. She was like, I just want to go live my Disney Channel dreams. She did learn that school is not like it is on Disney Channel.
Indeed.
And there are days that she does not love it. But overall, she really loves being in public school and being around that group of her peers. She's in gifted programs because she's stinking brilliant. So she enjoys the challenges and being a part of all of that. My younger daughter is in first grade. And I really think that by third or fourth grade, she's going to ask if she can homeschool because she likes seeing her friends at school, but she does not like being in the classroom. And so I can see her asking and us going back to homeschooling. And then I have two more that are 2 and 4, and I don't know what they're going to do yet. But I really feel like education is one of those things that needs to be personalized to every family and to every student. And my oldest daughter thrives in public school because she's willing to stand up and say what she needs. She has ADHD, so she has to have fidgets and a rubber band on her chair. And if her desk gets moved and there's not a rubber band on her chair, she will be like, excuse me, I need my rubber band. Where my second daughter doesn't like to have to draw attention to herself. So she will let herself get uncomfortable or frustrated and overwhelmed. And she'd rather be uncomfortable than embarrassed. So I can see her wanting to go back to homeschool where she has the opportunity to build her own environment for her learning.
Nice.
Because then she might change her mind again by the time she's in middle school or high school and want to go back to public school. And I don't have any problem going back and forth as long as they're happy and as long as they're learning.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Because it is about what works for the child. It is a personalized educational plan for the child. Because traditional school does work for some.
Yeah.
And homeschool works for those who it works for. And it's up to the parent to recognize where your child is thriving at or where you feel like they are best fitted. And work with that and go from there. Learn their learning styles. Learn about them. Like you're watching them from 0 to 5. You know them way more than you give yourself credit for. So
right. Well, and give yourself permission to fangirl over your own child.
Right?
Like you know how people fangirl over Taylor Swift and they're like, I know her cat's name and I know her best friend's name and I know her favorite color and I know what her wedding date is going to be. Like fangirl like that over your kid. Yes. And then remember that they're in the same house as you. So you can go sit next to them and like talk to them and ask them questions and be like, tell me about you. And they're going to be weirded out and then they're going to be super excited. Like this morning, I was waking up my 7-year-old and I was like, hey, like I hugged her and I was waking her up. And then I was like, wait a second. I haven't had a really good hug in a while. Come here and just like hug me. So she got up and she like gave me a really good hug. And then I was like, okay, but you got to get up. And then I walked out and I walked back in and she was like, hey, Mom, what? She's like, I love you. I love you too. Like she just needed a minute of a hug. And like sometimes we get so busy in the day to day that we forget. Like your little person is your biggest fan. So go be their biggest fan.
I tell mine all the time. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Like they go.
I could brag about my kids for days. They're amazing. Exactly. They're insane and wild, and I love them, and they're crazy and so much energy.
All of that. All of
that. I have 3 ADHD kids and at least 2 autistic kids. They are wild, and they have strong opinions, and they don't take them back. But they are also so kind and so sure of doing right in the world that if you could just watch them for a minute and be like, oh my goodness.
Right. Right. That's what it's about. Instilling in these little people the change you want to see in the world. Like don't create more of the same thing that you don't want to see. Like, break that mode. Yes, break that mode. And let's create the ones that we want to see. The change makers, the leaders, the thinkers, all of that, the critical thinkers. Yes. Leah, this is dope.
It's so
Yeah,
much
you
fun,
know
and I
that.
can't wait. I can't wait to see how many more kids we can get involved in it. 'Cause that's really what it is I just want it to get really big, not because I want me to get really big, but because I want these kids to feel really big. And so the more kids
Yeah,
I
and it's
teach this
in
to,
them. It's
yeah,
in them.
and we spend years telling them why they have to wait, and then they don't care
Mm.
anymore.
Yes,
So
yes.
if
That's what.
we just, yeah, there's lots I could say on it. I mean, tons and tons of
Right.
research and data and programming that I have done that proves teaching them now that their voice matters has a massive impact on who they become as adults.
As the future, yes, that confidence, that self assurance, that self like just understanding their
Yeah.
importance is so
Yeah.
important, especially now with all of like the rise in the suicide rate with our little babies. Like they have to be reminded, they have to be seen and heard now, not
Yep.
later.
Yep. They are not the future. They are right now. And that only happens if we let them.
Indeed, I know Whitney said that the kids. And like I love Whitney. So, but okay, I got two more questions for you before I let you go.
Okay.
One, with all that you do and all that you created and all that you have, because you got these 5 babies and like a lot. How do you self care? How do you make sure that you are good for everything that you have on your plate?
I am a reader. I will find a time to read. The other day, I had 2 meetings, and in between my 2 meetings, I went to the library just so I could sit in the quiet and read. I was like, I just give me a good book. I want to sit with my book and I want to read.
Yes, I agree. What are you reading right now?
So right now I'm reading 3 books because that's how you function as a human, right? So I am reading a fiction book called The 13th Child.
Okay.
It's about a girl whose mom and dad did not want a 13th child. And this God came and said, I'll be your godfather and I'm going to take your child. And then he didn't. And he left her with her parents who didn't want her anyway. And so now I'm going to find out like what happens after this because they didn't want her. Then I'm rereading Mike Michalowicz's book, All In. It's a book on leadership and making sure the team that works with you all care as much about your cause as you do. When I read it the first time, I read it straight through in 6 hours and I did not put it down. And so now I'm reading it and taking notes and slowing down and like, how do I apply these things? Especially because we've just formed a new board of directors for our nonprofit. And I want to make sure that we're implementing these steps as we're growing our nonprofit so that everybody on our board cares as much as I do. And it's not just me. And then I am also rereading How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen, because I think it's always good to refine your communication skills and make sure that the 6-year-old in the room, the 3-year-old in the room, and the 25-year-old in the room all care what you have to say.
Yes. Okay. 3 books at one time. Yes. That's how mine works. Okay. All right. And what's 3 things you want the audience to take away? If they didn't hear anything else during this whole conversation, what's 3 things you want them to definitely be in here? Hear this. This.
Number 1, children are not the future. They matter right now. So be quiet, step back, and see what they can do. Number 2, ask how. As grown-ups, we're really good at saying no. But if your kid comes to you with an idea, instead of saying no, ask how. Because then it shows that they have to do some problem solving and some idea generation on their own to make what they want happen actually happen. They're not the future.
Yes.
They're now. Ask them how so that they can make the things happen that they want to see happen. And then the third thing is always birth to age 5, 7 to 9, 12, 25, all of them. Read to your kids. Not read with your kids, read to your kids. Like, let them hear you make silly voices even when they're 12 and they roll their eyes. Read to your babies.
Oh, yeah. Girl, my 12-year-old just asked me to read a book. Like, they're still of that reading age, yes.
Right. My 10-year-old gets mad if I read a chapter every night. And if we're busy or I need them to go to bed or it's been wild and I'm like, early bedtime, everybody go to bed. She's like, you need to read to us. And I'm like, no, you need to go to bed.
Not tonight.
I will read to you 6 out of 7 nights, but this is the 7th night and you need to go to sleep.
Indeed. No, that's awesome. And that is the thing that I've talked to a couple families that do that, read a chapter a night thing. We haven't done novels together. We do regular children books when we're at the library. They'll read to me, I read to them. We'll alternate, things of that nature.
So we're on the 2nd series now, but the first series we did was the Percy Jackson series. It's such a great series. It's entertaining enough to keep you intrigued. It's easy enough for them to stay maintained. They're learning a little bit of Greek mythology while they're learning about this story. And the main character is dyslexic with ADHD. So they get to say like, okay, I don't have to be perfect to still be the main character. So we read all of Percy Jackson. Now we're reading the 2nd Percy Jackson series. And Rick Riordan is still releasing Percy Jackson books. So we have books for years.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, Percy
Highly
Jackson.
recommend.
Okay, yes. Okay, look, that's encouraging. I'm gonna find something that we can all do together. I'm setting up our RV now with all our lovely books and everything, getting ready to go on the road. Because books are a must in my world. My lovelies, they love graphic novels right now. That's their jam.
Yeah. That's my daughter's reading the Wings of Fire graphic novels. She loves them. Yeah, they're good.
Leah,
Books are always the answer to whatever your problem is. There's a book to solve your problem.
Everything, Leah. I totally agree. Totally agree. Books are the wave, honey. I love what you have created, love. This is amazing. This is really amazing. And I look forward to seeing you grow and reach way beyond Kansas because our little people need it. And I'm glad that you are giving them an echo chamber for their voice, giving them something to, boost them up even more and higher than where they're at. Parents, understand these little people are capable of a lot of things. A lot of things. Do not hold them back. Do not hold them back. Talk to them, see them, explore their ideas. Help them to see beyond now. And they're so capable of so many great things. So keep being a voice. Teach them how to advocate for themselves. Like, excuse me. Ooh, Leah's oldest. That's beautiful. Hey, love. But yeah, no. Just see our little people and understand that they will one day be big people. So don't hinder them. Don't hinder them. Yes. Yeah. Anything else, Leah, before we wrap it up?
I think that's all for me. Come hang out and see what we're doing online so that you can be a part of it too.
Yes, and all of her links will be available in the description, so definitely check it out. And homeschool your kids.